Hello, good evening. Myself Sanjay Kumar, and I am a full stack developer. And I am going to tell you about JavaScript and everything basic about it today. I work as a instructor in LetsUpgrade, and also I own a startup. And today we are going to know about JavaScript, why we use JavaScript, and what actually JavaScript is. Today's session is only going to be cover the basics of the language, and also about how a language works and what actually programming language is. Okay, so today's lesson is going to be like today's session is going to be about most of the like introduction part. Okay, don't worry, you will be getting into advanced stuff soon, but first we need to clear our basics, then only we can move on to the like to the advanced stuff. So as I know, most of you will be knowing about HTML, CSS. In any case, if you don't know about it, no worries, it's completely fine. Let's start with like what is the requirement of JavaScript. Okay, let me open a page like India Wikipedia. Okay, okay. It's a Wikipedia page uh, for all about our country. Okay, greatest country. Okay, India. So thing is, with HTML and CSS, most you can do is like build this page. Okay. Notice in this particular website or web page, whatever you want to say it, you only have some text, some hyperlinks, and little bit of styling. This is most you can do with CSS and HTML. I know like this is a simple HTML page with a text in center and some of the styling. But what if I want to add some interaction, like user interaction? What should happen when a user click on a particular button, or what should happen when user scrolls the wheel, or what should happen in the case of like if our data is coming through the internet, like some dynamic data is coming through internet. These things were not possible just by just using HTML, CSS. So the use of JavaScript is to make our website more like more intuitive, more user friendly. And the more user friendly your product, your website or your application is, more user it will going to get, and more user equals to more money. So the whole concept behind JavaScript is to get more money in a nutshell. Okay, so let me show you a small example what you can do with a JavaScript. Okay, it's a basic HTML page, this page basically. Okay, this page, and now I want to add some action. Okay, so I can add a action. Don't worry, I'm gonna explain you everything. It's just a beginning. Okay, so okay, in case, let me add a button here first. Okay, let's add a button. Okay, you can don't do this. I don't feel like this necessary. Let me show you simple alert. This will be more interesting to you. Alert. Okay, alert. Hello. Okay, hello world. Okay, now let me reload the page. See, here we got a hello world. Okay, you can also switch it to the prompt. Prompt. I'm so bad with my spellings, so please don't mind my spellings, please. So here I just added a prompt. Okay, so these are the little, I've just scratched the surface of the JavaScript. Okay, so with the JavaScript you can add little bit of interactivity with your web page, and also you can make a dynamic website. Dynamic website is what? Okay, let me open my Edge newsfeed. As you can see here, the data is getting fetched from a database or from a server, and it's getting loaded in real time. Every time I refresh the page, I get something new. Okay, I got something new. This news wasn't there in my previous load. But in the case of a simple HTML, CSS, there it is what it is. It's fixed forever. So these are the things we can do with JavaScript. So what is JavaScript? I think you get to know the idea of why we use JavaScript. And now, what is a programming language? Because JavaScript is a programming language. So let's start from basic. It will not take more than 5 minutes. Basically, our computer can just understand zeros and ones. Okay, our computer is the dumbest thing in the world. It can just only understand zeros and ones, but we can't talk with the computer using zeros and ones. So what we have? called programming language. Okay, let me see, programming. Don't mind my spellings, please. Okay, programming language. Okay. Language, let me comment. Okay, so what we have, some programming language and a compiler. Okay, compiler is just like a machine or a person or interpreter. Okay, and it is going to compile our code into zeros and ones, and it will pass our code to the computer, and computer will do anything we have written in our programming language. Let me show you a simple example. In the case, let assume I just uh, used this line, hello world. Okay, okay, so this particular syntax line or whatever you want to say is written in a language, a programming language, and the programming language is JavaScript, and this line of code is going to be compiled by the compiler. Okay, where this compiler is it's in our browser. Our browser have a compiler inbuilt in it that is going to compile this code into zeros and ones, and it will pass these zeros and ones to my computer's laptop's processor, and this thing is going to be uh, performing some actions. Okay, so in this case, see, I have got a console. I'm gonna tell you everything what console is. So here I got hello world, and this is the concept of every programming language in this world. I have used very basic and simple terms. I don't want to intimidate you in the first session only. And in case some of you know any other language like Python, Java, C++, I may you may found this part little bit boring, but don't worry, stick around. We are going to be doing some more advanced stuff sooner. Okay, so this is a programming language is okay. Now how to use this JavaScript programming language in our existing website or a web page. Okay, so I have designed this simplest web page ever possible with a HTML tag and a head tag. Let me close my head tag. Okay, and there is a single body, and body just contain a single line that says Java introduction. Okay, this is my web page. Okay, okay, and now I'm using my web browser to display this page. Simple. In case I want to do something in JavaScript in this web page, all I have to do is use a script tag. Okay, script tag, script script tag, and between this tag I can write my JavaScript code. Okay, so now hello world from JS, hello world from JS. Let me open my console, and where you can find this JavaScript code. For now you will find it in console. To open the console, just right click, and here is inspect element. Click on this inspect element to view the console. This is basically the developers panel of our website basically. Okay, here you will find our JavaScript. Okay, here you will find the HTML and all these kind of stuff, but for the output of JavaScript you should always visit, right for now, the console panel. Okay, let me check the live chats. Okay, I feel like it's perfectly fine. Now in this case we have successfully printed hello world using JavaScript in our web page, or like whatever you want to say, this basic HTML page. Now let me close this. But as our website or software, whatever you want to say, is going to grow, you won't be able to write all of your JavaScript code here. Like this can grow into thousands of lines. So that's why we are going to use external JavaScript files. Okay, for that, what we should do, create a new file. Let me create a new file from the scratch. This is my project folder for right now. I'm creating a new file, and you can name this file anything. I'm going with the name script.js. No, we should go for a simpler name. Let's go for hello.js. Okay, hello.js, and you can write all of your JavaScript here in this file. Hello from, we are going to do so much of hello from different places. Hello from JavaScript from external file, and to use this file in our HTML page, just use mm, let me open, just use a script tag, a script, and mention the source file and close the tag. Okay, this is the way of importing uh, JavaScript from the external files. Let me check, is it working? Okay, it's working. Hello from JavaScript from external file. So we are going to use this type of external connection always, because we don't want to write our JavaScript inside HTML file or inside our what we say, a web page. We always want to keep our JavaScript part in a different location, like we keep our CSS or in styling into different location. As same we are going with the JavaScript. Okay, so and you may ask me one thing. Let me. Okay. You may ask me one thing. I have mentioned this script tag in the bottomest part of the HTML due to some performance concern. That's why always mention your JavaScript tag at the bottomest part, like at the end of your file, always just before the body tag. And why this is the case, you will get to know this about this later in this session. And don't worry about this stuff, just know how to use JavaScript, how to add JavaScript into our HTML file, existing HTML file. So we have successfully imported, like we have connected JavaScript and HTML together. Now we can do everything that JavaScript can do to make our website or more intuitive, and like add some stuff to it. Let me show you some of the things we can do with JavaScript. Okay. Let me give it this title a class. We can say title. Okay. Let me. I have just given this h1 tag a class h1. Stick with me. Don't worry. You won't be able to understand these things. Mm, let me check. Yeah. Okay. Curious selector title. So with this particular lines of code, I was able to change the content of this HTML from JavaScript intro to hello world. I will show you a real-time example. Let me remove this file first and save it. Now refresh. So it is JavaScript introduction, and with this line of code, and when I save and reload, I was able to change it to something else. So we can control our JavaScript page by our HTML page, our HTML code with JavaScript. So this is some, I am just showing you some of the little things of JavaScript right now. We can also change the style of the tag or our HTML page. Let me change a style. Okay, let me change the background color for now, and let's make the background color to red because it's the most poppy color we can find. And let me refresh, and you can see we have successfully changed the style of the our HTML document. So these kind of things we can perform with JavaScript, and there are so many of things we can do, like dynamic page loading and making page interactive. I have told you this line again and again. So before moving on, let me tell you about the history of JavaScript. This is going to be the boring part, but we should always know the past of everything before moving it with in our future. So before there was no JavaScript. uh, every page was like simple HTML, CSS, and with some hyperlinks. So one day the founder of Netscape Navigator, it's a browser, Netscape Navigator, let me show you. Okay, let me show you Netscape. I think you have heard about this web browser. It's used to be one of the most popular web browser in early days. So the founder of Netscape Navigator developed a programming language in just 10 days, and he named it uh, Mocha. Whatever you want to say it, it's Mocha or Mocha. So he made a new programming language and named it Mocha, and in just 10 days. and he used this programming language in his own browser. Okay, he just made a compiler for that particular language, and combined his web browser with that compiler and merged it together, and told every developer in the world that now you can do perform some interactivity with your web page, just use my programming language, and the name of the programming language was Mocha. But later down the line, Microsoft copied that particular programming language and named it their own JavaScript. So Microsoft, they have a bad reputation for stealing things, so they named it JScript, RIPT. It was the Microsoft version for the JavaScript, and there was some legal battle with them, but that's not the part of our session. So later, what happened after this dispute of an international firm named ICMA came up, and they just made a new programming language using that particular JScript or Mocha and named it JavaScript. Basically, it's JavaScript's real name is EgmaScript. Why we say JavaScript? Because in like the time when JavaScript was developed, Java programming language was so popular. Java was everywhere. So the developer of EgmaScript just thought we should name our language resembling the Java part, so that no more people can know about JavaScript. So till now, some of the new developers, new programmers, or new college students have this doubt, like JavaScript and Java are same. No, they are not same. The only similarity both the language have is the Java part, just because the developer of the JavaScript just thought we should name this language same, so that people can know more about it. So this was the history, a little bit of brief history about the JavaScript. Over the year, JavaScript has evolved a lot. It has come through a very long way, and now using JavaScript you can do almost everything. Let me tell you, without JavaScript you cannot enter into any industry, almost any industry, just leaving IoT part. Like if you want to go into a blockchain, you have to know the front end part. Okay, for that you should know JavaScript. If you want to make mobile application, you can use React Native. To make web application, you can go with the React.js, AngularJS, Next.js, Vue.js, and so on. I can go with the list. And for to make computer software, you can just use Electron.js to make software in a computer. For machine learning, you can go with the TensorFlow.js. So everywhere you go, you will find JavaScript. No matter which field you choose, you're always going to end up facing JavaScript. So there is no running from JavaScript, and once you learn JavaScript, it's so good language because JavaScript has evolved from a small language, from a language that was developed in 10 days, to the language that has been mostly used. Like if you Google search most used programming language in the world, you will always going to find JavaScript. See here the JavaScript in the third place. And popular language, most popular programming language, most popular programming uh, in 2020. No matter which list you go for, you will always going to find JavaScript in first, second, or third place. Here in second place, and let's hope we can find JavaScript in first place. Okay, so I think, yeah, in this list they have mentioned JavaScript in the first position. So this is the most important language in the world right now, according to me, after Python or some other languages. But you should always like no matter where you go, you will find JavaScript. So that's enough of talking. Let's start doing some coding. So we have till now we have successfully like connected our HTML to our JavaScript file. So, and we have successfully printed hello world. Like this is the first line of code you always write whenever you start a new programming layer. This is the first thing you have to do. So do it again, console.log hello world, and let's show a smiley face here. Okay, yes, smiling. And and let me show you what is this console is. In the console you will find the JavaScript code. Let me refresh. Hello world. So this is the basically developer panel for us. it is going to be developer panel for us. In the this inspect element, you will find all your HTML files, HTML tags in the elements tab, and in the console tab you will going to find the outputs for the our JavaScript. So this is going to be our default debugger for now. As we moving as we're going to move to our session, we will be switching over to more special debuggers, but for now we are just going to use console.log. Okay, now let's do something with this. Let me add two numbers using uh, JavaScript. Okay, let me add 10. Okay, let's just console.log con 10 and 20 and const result. I'm just showing you a little bit example how programming language works, and let me print this result. So we have successfully added two numbers. Those numbers are 10 and 20. So like hooray, this is the starting. So before starting JavaScript and programming language, let's start with the basics. So before starting, you need to know about some of the terminologies. Everything have some terminology, some naming convention and these kind of things. So let's start with some of the terminologies. So here 45, 0, or my name. These things are called values. Anything that have some value, like 6, this is a value, 0 is a value, this particular number is a value. These are the values. Okay, any string, any name, this is value. So for containing these values, we use variables. And what these variables are just placeholder to hold a value. So let me define a variable. Okay, variable. And how to assign a variable, just use this. So in this case, 123 is a value variable. This is a variable. Let me name it my variable. Okay, it's a variable that is holding value of 123. Okay, to check we can console.log. Console is used to print the print anything in console. Okay, let me print my variable and let's see what we got. We got 123. Okay, so this is a variable is just a placeholder. Variable is just a bucket to store some values. And there is also one thing, we should mention the type of variable. Okay, it is not actually type. To define a variable in a programming language, in any programming language, you should start with const or let. For now, just use let. Don't worry about this let keyword. This is syntax. I'm going to tell you about syntax. Okay. My variable. You can name variable anything. It's my variable. You can name it anything, and you can store any kind of value. It could be a number. It could be a string. For the string, you should use double quotes. In the case of number, you can just write the number. Okay, so this is going to it's my variable is going to store this particular number. But in the case of string, you should mention a string in double quotes. Value for the variable, you can write it anything here. So this is a value, it's a string value, and we have stored it in my variable so that we can use this value later down in our code. So that's why we use variable, to use this variable in the place of real value. And we can just console.log it, we can print this like a number. And here what you see, we have printed value for the variable. We are going slowly, and we will be doing some uh, I'm just checking the live chat. What is the use of console? Console is used to print something in this part, so that we can check. For now, just think like this, we are using console.log. Don't worry about what is this console.log. Just you should know the use of console.log. Console.log is used to print something in our console. Every language have something like console.log to print. Like in case of Python, we have print statement. In the case of C, we have printf. Similarly, we have console.log in JavaScript to print something. Why we do print? Just to check what the result we are getting. That's the only reason we are using console.log. And we you will be using console.log in your future if you become a JavaScript a lot, because console.log is the primary go-to solution for debugging our code. Debugging means catching the error in our codes. So that's why. So you're going to see this line of code console.log, console.log a lot of time in during the session. Okay, and script tag to link the file. Okay, you want to know about more about compiler? Okay, I'm gonna tell you about the compiler. The, to Node.js class to write code too fast. Okay, you want to know about my extension? Sure, I will tell you about it. Let's first understand the code. Okay, so there was one person who asked for the script tag. So as you use the style tag, see, as you use the style link tag to style the CSS in to your HTML. I hope you understand the CSS and HTML. That's why. Similarly, we are using a script tag to link our JS file to our HTML. Same as CSS, same as JS. So that's the only reason we are using a script. So we have to use a script source and the name of the file. Okay, the path with the path. We use a script tag. Don't worry about it. I'm going to tell you. It's just starting. It's the first day. Just try to understand the basic concepts. And somebody asked me about the compiler. Okay, let's go on Google and let me show you compiler diagram. Okay, compiler diagram, because pictures speak louder than words. So here it is. Let me open this image in a new tab. Oh, this picture is so difficult to understand. Let me open a Figma. Anyways, I think I have opened my Figma. This we can go to draw.io. Draw.io. Till then, I'm going to read some more chats. Tell me the VS Code theme. Most of you are asking about the VS Code theme. Let me create a new diagram, blank diagram, create. Let's save this diagram. Hello. So we are going to use some picture representations to understand things. Okay, so let's assume this is our machine. It's our computer. Let's assume computer. And this computer can understand only zeros and ones. And I can't talk in zeros and ones. Sometimes I can, but mostly I can't talk in zeros and ones. So I can talk in some programming language though. I can learn a programming language. So it's called higher level programming language like JavaScript. PL. I'm using short form like JavaScript. Now I need to communicate with the computer with using my programming language. So I will going to use a compiler here. Compiler is just a program. It's just a software. That software is going to convert. It's just going to convert my high level programming language, my JavaScript code, into zeros and ones, and it's going to pass it uh, to the computer, and the computer is going to do some stuff after understanding zeros and ones. So this is all compiler is. Don't worry, don't think so much about it. It's just your starting, so don't worry about it. You're going to hear these terms a lot throughout your coding journey. Don't worry about it. Just focus on some introduction. It's like hello, hi, hello. Okay. And about my VS Code theme, let me check. It's, I think, color theme. It's material theme, ocean, high contrast. in case some of you were wondering what VS Code theme I'm using. So where were we? We were understanding variables. Variables. So till now, what we understood? Variables are just a placeholder to hold some values. And what are these values? Values could be anything that holds some value, some weight, zeros, one, a string or something, these kind of things. So hold these value, we use variables. So it's my var is a variable that is holding a value, a string, and the value of that string is value for the variable. It could be anything. It could be my name, or it could be my age, anything. So these are the thing we are going to store. It could be number, it could be my address. And what is this let? So these are some keywords. What are these keywords? Keywords are like vocabulary of a programming language. Like if we are talking in English, so a word like what, how, these are some keywords like part of this language. So let is a uh, word that is used by JavaScript to understand, yes, this thing is going to be a variable. So because we want to make JavaScript understand that this is a variable, anything, my variable. To make JavaScript understand that it's a variable, we are using this keyword, like the let keyword. Till now, JavaScript knows in this syntax. JavaScript knows there is a it's just if I use this, it means nothing. It means nothing. To make JavaScript understand that it's a variable, I need to use this keyword before that particular variable. Now JavaScript knows that's my var is a variable. Now JavaScript knows, and equals to, now I have assigned this variable a value 0. Simple as that. And if in any case you're still feeling confused, don't worry, it's just starting. I'm telling this your 10th time, I think. So these are some variables, and we can make as much as variables we want. Variable 1 or like variable 3, let my var 3 or something. It could, and each and every variable can store any kind of values, and we can perform some of the operations, any operations between these variables. Like I can just add two variable using plus. So I have performed an action, performed performed an action on variable, on two variable. I have just performed an action, and the action is plus on which variable? Variable my var and my var 2. So the and here the plus, you can see this plus. This plus is called operator. We have so many of operators in JavaScript, and you don't need to memorize all of them. You will get familiar with all the operators throughout our journey. So we have some of the operators like plus, we have minus, we have multiply, star, it's basically asterisk. Asterisk is used for multiplication. We have division, and these operators are called arithmetic operators, because these operator perform some arithmetic operation between two variables. For the list we have arithmetic operators, and we have arithmetic operators like plus, minus, multiply, divide. These are some arithmetic operators. I think I have misspelled arithmetic. Let me fix it. Okay, so it's arithmetic operators. So let's perform some arithmetic operation between these two variables. Let me change the value of these variables. Okay, let me perform some operation on these two variable. My var 1 multiply, I am performing multiplication operation, my var 2. Now this is equals to, JavaScript will perform this operation between these two variables and will give a result 120. 12 multiplied by 10 equals to 120. Okay, it is going to, JavaScript is going to give you this result. Now we have to store this result somewhere so that we can use this result. So for storing, so where we store some values, because 120 is a value, so where we can store some values in a variable. So let me define another variable, and I'm going to name it result, and I'm going to store the value 120. That is the basically result of multiplication operation between these two variables, and going to store this in a new variable result. Now result contains 120. To check, we can console.log it again. So that's why we use console to check either our output is correct or not. Let me see. So here I got 120, and what 120 is? 120 is the result of my variable 1 and my variable 2 multiplied by, and we got this. And you can use as much as console.log you want. Okay, so this till now we have understood what our variables is, and we just perform multiplication operation plus operation till now. And as for the console.log, let me show you how we can how many types of things we can console. Let me just keep a single variable here. So in console.log, we can console some string, some message. For consoling some string or message, we use double quote. In any case, in any situation where we are using some kind of letters, strings, we are always going to use double quote, so that JavaScript can understand that anything between these quotes is a string. It's just a method. Okay. Okay, so here this is the thing. And to know more about JavaScript, and if you want to know deep about what are these things actually mean, and if I have left some of the advanced topic till now, I'm just scratching the surface. Please do visit our group and join the group for the one-to-one mentoring session, so that you will know how to move with your life if you want to continue in the programming journey. And please do visit our group and join the group, and you will find the link in the, I think you will find the group link in the chat or in the description, and we can continue further with that group. You can also join you can also like join the course, complete course, but don't worry, you will get to know a lot here also. So here's the thing. If you want to print something that's a letter, that's not a number basically, so we just use single quote or double quote. I just forgot to tell you that we can also use single quote. I mostly use single quotes. It's completely upon you what you want to use. You can go with the double quote or single quote. I go with the single quotes, and anything between in this single quote, it is a message or just some sentence, some text. Okay, so we can console some kind of string, and just to check, you can see here I've just printed this message. And you can also console some variable. We have been using this till now, like this. So it is going to print this, the value of that variable. And you can also use a combination of both. How? You have to do like this. So here in the first part, I have just used single quote to print a string, and then I used plus, and later I just used my variable name. And what is going to be the output of this? It's going to be my variable plus the value of this variable. Let's check in our console what we got. So here we got my variable colon 12. Why we got colon? Because I have used a colon here. Okay, that's why we got colon. So you can console any value, any data, anything. You can print anything in console.log. So we have successfully understand the some of the basic of JavaScript, some of the basic of a programming language, that these are some values. Let me recap. Anything that contains some of the value is called a value. anything like this is a value, a string is a value, and to store some values we use variables. Any variable, my variable, you can name a variable anything, you can name variable anything. And to let JavaScript understand that it's my variable, we should use this keyword like let keyword to make JavaScript understand that it is going to be a variable and we are going to store this particular value. Now let's understand a little bit more about this particular syntax. Let's under okay. Mm, I think we haven't got any link for the group in the chat. Let me read. Best interactive platform for mm, most of your doubts are related to the attendance. Let is a keyword which let compiler know it's a variable. Yes, very good. Aryan Shivastav, you got my point. And no need. Yes, you don't need any kind of extension to run the JavaScript. You don't need any extension to run any programming language. React is a JavaScript library framework used for front-end simple application. Yes, it is. React is basically React is a library, but I think there is a huge debate between the library and the framework part, because most of the time React behaves as a framework, but it's a library. Like the inventor of React, Facebook, has said that React is a library, not a framework. Difference between console.log and the document write. Okay, so basically the difference between console.log is console is going to print uh, the data in the console part, and document.write is basically is to change the content of HTML. We will be going to understand this in later in the course. Don't hurry so much. We are going to cover everything. Mm, no, it's not Telegram. This group. I think you will get a Let's Upgrade link here. Okay. Difference between where and let. I think Mridul Sharma, the question you have asked is little bit advanced. I don't feel like today I'm going to answer that question, because most of you don't even understand what JavaScript is. So let me like most of you we won't be understand the what is where is. So that's why. Let me finish with the basics that I'm going to cover. These are some interview questions also. Can I practice JavaScript in Android? No, no, you cannot practice JavaScript. JavaScript mostly is used in website part, and for the Android, you have to use Java or Kotlin. So if you're going for mobile development, anyways, you can use React Native to make Android application. And React Native is good as Android application. Most of some of the most popular mobile application are built over React Native. I think Tesla, PayPal, these are the some of the mobile application uh, made on using React Native. Okay, group link. You will be going to we shared group link soon. Okay, till now. Okay, let's just understand this particular line of code. So this is called a syntax. Basically, the combination, this complete line, it's called a syntax. Syntax means every language have a syntax. What syntax is? Syntax is a grammar, basically. Like in case of English, the way we talk is called like the grammar. Okay, so in the case of JavaScript, or in any case any programming language, the pattern, the rules we have to follow are called syntax. So it's a rule that we have to mention let before every variable, and we should use equal to assign the value. So this is a syntax. Oh my god, my voice is cracking right now. Okay, it's a syntax. It's a syntax basically. And in the case if you like misspell or like make a fault while syntax, you are going to get a syntax error. Let's get a syntax error in this case. Okay, it's going to give a syntax error. Let us see. Let us see let me refresh. So we got uncaught syntax error. So why we got syntax error? Because we have just violated the rule of JavaScript. We have just violated the grammar of JavaScript. So that's why even it's giving syntax error. It's saying you should use equal sign to assign. Assigning means giving a variable a value. That's called assigning. Assignment. Assigning. Assign a value. Don't like ignore my spellings, please. So it's a proper syntax and you have to follow these syntax, and don't worry, you are going to remember, like you're going to memorize these syntax throughout the course. And after a level you will be able to understand each and every syntax. So in this syntax, basically this part before the equal sign is called declaration. It's called declaration of variable. Declaration of variable. I have misspelled declaration again. So it's called declaration of variable. And my var equals to 100. It's called initialization of variable. Don't get intimidated about these solid terminologies. Basically it's called declaration of variable, where we like initialize a variable. Hey JavaScript, I'm going to make a variable and its name is going to be myvar. So this part is called declaration. And hey JavaScript, myvar is going to contain value of 100. It's called assignment. And the first assignment is called initialization. Simple as that. Or you can just say it assignment. And you can change its value as much as time you want it to. Okay, so here I want to tell you, in this case, with this particular example, I want to explain you one thing. Let me console.log myvar. Now try to get what is the value of myvar. Try to guess if some of uh, mm, 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 I think this chat is there is a time gap between my voice and the chat. Okay, so in this case I'm going to answer it. So I want to explain you one thing, that program, any program or a JavaScript program, this is a program, this complete file is a program. So when a compiler compiles, or like let's make it simple. Every program runs in a same fashion. What is the fashion? It moves up to down. Okay, up to down always. It's not going to jump here. It's going to follow a path, and the path is up to down. So in this case we have declared a variable myvar. Okay, so here in this case myvar is have nothing value, undefined. Myvar is undefined. While in this line, when our JavaScript have like reach here, it is going to make myvar equals to 100. So myvar is going to be 100 in this line. Myvar, let me show you, myvar is now 100. Now after that myvar is going to be hello world, and the 100 value is going to be vanished, because JavaScript is moving one line at a time. Here, here the value of myvar is going to be 300, because JavaScript, or and in case any program, always moves from up to down in a sequential manner. So finally, the value of myvar is going to be 300. Let's check in the console, and here we got 300, and all these values are just vanished. So with this example I was just trying to explain you that a program runs from up to down in a manner of up to down and left to basically up to down. Okay, so I hope you understand this thing, because you are going to face these things a lot. Like, these are some basic things that a program always run in this manner. What is variable? What is syntax? Syntax is a rule of, basically a set of rule. And what is this thing? Like this thing, 100. This is called assignment. Assignment. We are assigning myvar a value. That's called assignment. And we have also learned that we can perform some actions between two variables. Like we can perform let. We have just performed some of the operations like 100 and let myvar to, let's use number. Myvar is so much of work to type. So that's why num 100, num 200, and we can perform some of the actions on these two variables like addition, multiplication, division. Let's perform division this time. Let me divide number like this very huge number with this 34. Okay, let's assume, oh, it's so huge, let's make it a little bit small. And we can perform any action. So in this case, number one is going to be divided by number is going to divided by num1, and here we need to store this result somewhere. So for that we are going to use another variable, and now we can console.log this result. So we have made a simple calculator. So if in any case you want to perform some calculation, you can just open your code editor and you can perform some of the calculation. Like I have purchased 12,000 rupees stuff yesterday, and let me do calculation for my expenses this month. Okay, I have did this. Let me make one more variable for my another bill, like it was 4,500, and let me add all these things, and let me get the result. Okay, so it's 46,545. Basically I am in a depth right now. Okay, so we have performed some operations, and for performing some operations over variable we use operators. And what are these operators? We have some operators like plus, minus, division. These are some operators, and basically plus, minus, division, multiplication, these kind of operators have a special name. These are called arithmetic operators. We have some more operators, and we are going to learn about more of these operators down line our journey. Till now, we have successfully completed our introduction part of the JavaScript. Okay, let me check. Do we have anything else? Okay, okay. I should make you understand what is this thing. Okay, what is this thing? Here I am using I'm just defining our variable again. I know it's boring, but we have to do this. So this is a syntax, and JavaScript is going to perform going to read this particular line here, and JavaScript also going to read this line str equals to hello world. And if I do some code here, and if I'm doing these kind of things, everything is going to be read by JavaScript, and JavaScript is going to read each and everything here. But if there is a some of part of the code that I don't want JavaScript to read, so in that case I'm going to use double slash, and anything I write here, anything, let me write some code here. Okay, let me write some code here, some code. This particular line is not going to be read by JavaScript. It's going to ignore this line. And these are called comments, and these are called comments. Okay, let's see what we got in output. Here we see we didn't get this particular console.log, this some code. And then why we use comments? Why we use comment if JavaScript is not going to read this particular line of code? We use comments to make some remarks in our code. For example, let name is equals to Sanjay. So I am going to make a comment to make other developer, if I'm working in a team, so that other developers can also understand what I have done. So this is a variable for the name of user, so that other developer can also understand what I was trying to write here, what is the code. Because understanding this thing is not so much easy to understand. That's why developers use comments. And also till now I'm also using a lot of comment to make you understand what I'm writing, because every time it's not possible to communicate with just code. So that's why we use comments. And to make a comment, just do slash slash, and anything you write here is going to be completely ignored by the JavaScript. So I think it's enough for today, but before leaving I'm going to tell you something more about the naming of a variable. In the starting I told you that we can name anything. It's a variable. We can name anything to a variable. Okay, I'm making a comment again to make you people understand that here we are going to do something related to variables. But I lied, because we cannot name a variable anything. There are set of rules. Again, there are some set of rules that we have to follow while naming a variable. And what are these rules? These rules are very simple. You don't have to memorize everything, because you are going to learn everything down the line. And also in the coding world, in the software engineering part, you don't have to remember things. You have to understand things. If you understand what thing are going in this code, that's more than enough to move on. Okay, seriously, you don't need to memorize everything. Just if you are understanding what I'm saying, you are understanding what is happening, it's more than enough to get you a job, to make you a good programmer, so that you can start making a project. That's enough, because you are going to find answers throughout the internet. You are going to find all the definitions throughout the internet, but you won't be able to find the meaning of these things. So you need to understand the meaning. These rules are written in the documentation, and I'm going to tell you how to read the documentation. So what are the rules of writing a variable? That a variable name can never start with a number, that it's going to throw a error. And the error is variable declaration are not allowed at this location. You will find the error as soon as you are writing code. Our JavaScript is going to tell you that, hey bro, I think you have misspelled something, you're not doing it correct. So don't worry about this error. JavaScript is going to help you with this kind of error. So you can now start a variable name with a number. Anyways, you can use number in between or at the end. You can use the number anywhere in your variable name, but you can't start a variable name with a number. Second thing, you cannot use some special characters like asterisk or something like hash, or these kind of special character are not allowed while naming a variable. Only special character are allowed are underscore. You can use underscore, and I think underscore is allowed, and I think dollar sign is also allowed. Okay, dollar sign and underscore. These two signs are only special character that are allowed while naming a variable. Other than that, you are not allowed to use any kind of special symbol like star. These you cannot use this. Why? Because star have a special feature, and that's a operator. Star is also operator. A star is an operator that is used to multiply two numbers. Number one 7 and number 2 5. So we are using star to multiply two numbers here. So how can you use star also in your variable name? It may cause some error down the line. So because if our variable name is star num2, then JavaScript is going to have a hard time understanding what operator is, what is a variable name. That's why we have these kind of set of rules, that you cannot use these symbols, and you cannot start a variable name with a number. And these two rules are more than enough for now. So I hope you understood a little bit basic things of a programming language, and also about the things, how JavaScript works, why we are using JavaScript. We are JavaScript using JavaScript to make our website interactive. And you may find a lot of example of good JavaScript website. You can like good websites using JavaScript. Oh, here is also example of JavaScript. Whenever I write something here, everything when I am typing is generating dynamically. Hello world. So this thing is done by JavaScript. Everything that is getting generated dynamically in real time. These are the actions that are these are the things that are possible after the invention of JavaScript. Okay. And with the JavaScript you can make mobile applications, computer application, backend servers. Everything that you can think of can be done using JavaScript, and there is no running from JavaScript. Wherever you go you will see it. I'm telling it to you again. I am in this industry for a while, and I can't find a place where you are not using JavaScript. So so I think it's enough for our introduction part, and you are going to show the. Oh my God, you people are like you. Everyone just wanted to know my extension list. So who's the name? A code with Ashu. I'm using a bunch of extensions. Uh, oh, you have to visit my second class to know these. Okay, it's going to be cliffhanger for today. I need why I need to use number in between of variable. Why I need to in if in any case you want to use number in between of variable. Okay, in the case of numbers. Okay, I think you are what's the name? Arun S. Let's just do this. Okay, 10 and num 220. Let's assume I name this variable 8 starting from a number. Let me perform a operation. Okay, and I have started this with 8. Now JavaScript won't be able to understand if it have to add this 8 with the number or it's the name of the variable. So that's why it's JavaScript or any in case any programming language will get confused in these kind of things. So that's why there are these kind of rules. We have to use camel case notation when no, it's not necessary. It's a convention are set by the community. So JavaScript community have just decided that we are going to use camel case to name variable. Like in my startup we don't use a camel case, we use snake case. So that's not a problem. Again, you can use anything you want, like it's completely on you. But in the case of JavaScript, if you are going to move forward with a JavaScript, please do use camel case so that everyone can understand your code. And please do visit our one-to-one mentoring session, and the link is in the chat. You have just have to scroll and find it, or I think you may find it in the description also. Okay. Okay, so I think that's enough for today. I will see you tomorrow with some more JavaScript stuff, and hopefully we will complete all the essential in this complete session. And I hope you, after this session, you find JavaScript interesting, easy, and you feel like you have to continue with JavaScript. Okay, so I think it's the time. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.